Kanye posted a picture of Corey Gamble, Kris Jenner's longtime boyfriend. The caption reads, "God has a plan to remove the godless. Corey needed to never be here anyway."
That not only was Corey Gamble extremely close to Kim Porter and Diddy, he was there. He was there when the coroners arrived to Kim Porter's house after 911 was called. Am I crazy? That's Corey Gamble, 100%. Not in the blue, the one right behind him.
Y'all, Kris Jenner's boyfriend Corey Gamble is catching all kinds of heat on social media over his connection to Diddy. And now a fresh set of rumors are making the rounds, alleging that Diddy assigned Corey to be Justin Bieber's handler and got Justin hooked on substances. You know how Diddy is rumored to have done something traumatizing to young Justin? Well, word on the street is that Corey's job was to keep Justin doped up and mess with his head after he was allegedly victimized by Diddy and his industry friends. It's also worth mentioning that Kanye West previously said that Corey was not allowed to be around his children, and that alone is a huge red flag. So what do we really know about Corey Gamble and his connection to Diddy and Justin Bieber? Let's get into it. So it's been a whole decade since Corey Gamble waltzed into Kris Jenner's life, and yet the mystery of where this man came from and what he was up to before becoming Miss Jenner's arm candy remains unsolved. But here's the thing, despite the lack of intel on Corey's past, one thing's for sure, this man has got connections for days. He's often seen hanging out with the likes of Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Ellen DeGeneres, Steve Harvey, and even Prince Harry. So how does Corey manage to be besties with practically every A-lister in Hollywood? Now there's this juicy rumor swirling around town that Corey might just be one of those Hollywood handlers who keep celebs in check. But hold up, why would someone like Corey even bother working for other celebs when he's got Kris Jenner's bank account at his disposal? Well, there have been whispers in the gossip mill suggesting that these celebrity handlers aren't just there to get coffee and schedule hair appointments. Allegedly, their job is to ensure that celebs play nice with the industry bosses and keep their lips sealed about any behind-the-scenes shenanigery they stumble upon. And get this, it's not just wild speculation. Celebs like Kanye West have been known to air their grievances about this shady side of the industry. Remember when Kanye called out his former personal trainer Harley Pasternak for threatening to have him institutionalized? And then it turned out Harley worked for Canadian intelligence before infiltrating Hollywood?
This is how he was threatened. This is a trainer, but come to find out, he was actually Canadian intelligence, but this is my trainer. So this shows you the kind of handlers that are around the superstars in California, right?
Now, when Kanye was spilling the tea about Harley, he didn't stop there. He also said he's worried about other handlers who are in the Kardashian household and around his little ones.
You think about if Harley was part of intelligence, right? What kind of people you think are surrounding my kids? What kind of people you think are in that house right now? My kids go to Sierra Canyon. It's a Jewish school that doesn't teach Christianity to these Christian kids at Christmas time.
And this wasn't the only time Kanye called out Corey. Back in the summer of 2020, when Kanye made headlines by escaping to his Wyoming ranch, he publicly claimed that Kim and Kris were scheming to have him locked up under a 5150 psychiatric hold. And then Kanye called out both Kris and Corey, saying they're not allowed around his children. And honestly, you can see why Kanye feels this way, because Corey has shown more than once that he's not to be trusted. Remember that time when Corey made a comment about putting hands on Kourtney and Scott's daughter Penelope? That scene left me fuming, because who does Corey think he is?
I'm whipping her ass, and I'll explain to y'all later.
What?
I would whip her ass.
You would whoop Penelope's if she scratched you?
I would give her a spanking for sure.
My daughter? What are you talking about?
Scratch me in
You
my
would whoop
face.
my daughter's if she touched you?
No, scratch me.
You would whip my daughter's
Why not?
if she scratched you?
Why
A
not?
little 6-year-old girl?
That's
What the are you talking about?
Now, a bunch of folks actually jumped to Corey's defense back then, because it seemed like Kourtney and Scott's children were not exactly well behaved. But Scott himself later set the record straight, making it crystal clear that Corey had absolutely no business talking about laying a hand on someone else's child.
It wasn't like, if I was the nanny, this is what I would have done. If I was you as a parent, this is what I would have done. I said, I'm going to ask you again. Do you mean you personally would actually do that and put hands and hurt my little daughter? I just want to understand that. And he said, hell yeah, I would.
And fans have also been raising eyebrows over Corey's behavior around Kylie because he always seems to have his eyes glued to her.
Put just like glittery pink in the middle.
And if our mom expects
Honestly,
any commission on
good.
this, she should have been here.
Now, Kanye was way ahead of the curve when it comes to creepy Corey. Way back in 2019, he called Corey out for his strange antics, even shooting him a text asking why he never introduced his family to the Kardashians. But Kris immediately jumped to Corey's defense. And looking back at this moment, it looks like Kris got scared that people would start digging into Corey's background.
Kanye texted Corey something really rude. Kanye was like, I think it's weird, like we've never met his family.
That's weird.
I sit and talk to Kanye, and if you talk to Kanye, he's gonna put that up here and run with it.
I mean, it is weird. I'm not saying that
we're all different. How about you used to be weird? We all put up with each other.
But Kanye wasn't about to let things slide. He doubled down on his beef with Corey just last year and stirred the pot by bringing up Corey's ties to Diddy and Justin Bieber. God has a plan to remove the godless Corey, Kanye began. Needed to never be here anyway. Kanye then mentioned how Corey weaseled his way into the Kardashian family, saying he's a nice person who used to be around Puff's family, then got around Justin Bieber, and then when Kris got divorced, he slid in. And get this, Kanye also claimed that he once personally removed Corey from his daughter's birthday party. And while he didn't reveal what happened, this sounds pretty alarming. Kanye then again pointed out that Corey is still hiding his background and said, we still never met his family, and I guess we never will. And then Kanye mentioned that Corey got Kim linked with the liberals in a deep way, and that he probably worked for some shady corporation like DuPont. Now, the part where Kanye mentioned Corey's connection to Diddy and Justin Bieber is setting off all kinds of red flags, because there's this ongoing conversation that Diddy may have taken advantage of Justin. Several disturbing videos are currently making the rounds on social media, showing Diddy acting creepy around Justin. And fans have been speculating that Diddy did something horrifying to JB when he was just starting out in the industry.
Diddy threw a big party at Vanquish on Wednesday night to launch a new tequila, and the man brought a lot of old friends to celebrate with him. Rick Ross, Jermaine Dupri, T.I., Justin Bieber, and a ton of bodyguards. Biebs couldn't keep his shirt on for very long, so he shed his tee and danced next to Diddy while seemingly just drinking water all night long. Earlier this week, both Biebs and Diddy posted this pic on their Instagram where Diddy noted that it was 4 a.m. and their crew was still hard at work.
Now, as for Corey's connection to Diddy, it's unclear when exactly they met, but they seem to go way back because Corey was also close to Diddy's ex, Kim Porter. In fact, back in 2018, Corey was one of the first people to arrive at Kim's house when news broke that she passed away suddenly and under very sketchy circumstances.
How am I just now finding out that not only was Corey Gamble extremely close to Kim Porter and Diddy, he was there. He was there when the coroners arrived to Kim Porter's house after 911 was called. Am I crazy? That's Corey Gamble, 100%. Not in the blue, the one right behind him. Like, I don't even have a theory. I'm just confused. And we're going to talk about this in the deep dive. But Kim Porter, when she passed away, there was obviously discrepancies in police reports versus coroner reports. Another thing we know for a fact is P. Diddy had her entire home wired with audio listening devices and video cameras. Was her passing caught on camera? Does Diddy have footage of Kim Porter passing away? I just don't get it. How has this man been everywhere, have connections with everyone, but he is really only known as Kris Jenner's boyfriend?
Corey was also a guest at a party that Diddy threw in 2019 to celebrate what would have been Kim's 50th birthday. Corey shared a throwback photo of him and Kim on IG, writing, "Happy birthday, Kim Porter. I will always continue to thank you for all you and Diddy did for my life." Now, let's talk about this Corey-Justin Bieber situation. So Corey was actually Justin's tour manager when he crossed paths with Chris, and back in those days, Justin and Corey were practically joined at the hip. But why would a tour manager tag along with Justin all the time, even when Justin wasn't on tour? Something's not adding up, y'all. So let's connect the dots here. We've got Kanye calling Corey CIA and prohibiting him from being around his kids. Then there's the whole story with Corey, Diddy, and Justin Bieber. And on top of all that, it feels like Corey's story is being swept under the rug by mainstream media. And it's interesting how none of the major celebrity news outlets are touching on Corey's confirmed ties to Diddy. But folks online have already made up their minds about Corey, and they're saying there's definitely something sinister about this man. One fan said he's either CIA or Mossad, especially since most of the sports and music industry heads are of Jewish background. He seems to be in the right place at all times. Him being around everyone would allow him to get information that could also be used to blackmail sports people or people in the music business. Something stinks about him, and the whole world can smell it. And another person added, from day one when we were introduced to that guy, something felt off. Chris seems to walk on eggshells around him. Very odd for such an outspoken boss woman. But what's your take on all these rumors swirling around about Corey Gamble? Do you think there's something sinister about his connection with Diddy and Justin Bieber? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you stick around for this next video.